G'day there guys, it's your Aussie Hubby Markee, back at it again with another r/legal advice video. Now if you love me like I love you, then you know what to do. I want you to mosey on over to that old like button and tackle it like bloody Crocodile Dundee. Maybe even chuck an Aussie flag down in the comments. Now with that said, I want you to sit back, relax, chuck a prawn on the barbie, and get ready for some bloody good advice. Now, our first post is by user Mischief Managed, titled, Found Hidden Camera in Airbnb, Seattle, Washington. My boyfriend and I are staying at an Airbnb in Seattle. We're basically living in the bottom unit, the basement, and the hosts are directly above us. Everything seemed fine. Last night, I went to use the charging cube and cable they had in the kitchen. For some reason, it wasn't charging my phone, so I took a closer look at it and saw that it was blinking. We shined a flashlight on the cube and realized it was one of those hidden camera charging cubes. It was in the kitchen, but pointed straight at the bathroom, which means it has footage of us undressing, completely naked, and walking into the bathroom to shower. The hosts never informed us about this, and we are really uncomfortable with the fact that it has footage of us without our consent. We contacted Airbnb, but they are not super helpful, and now we are considering calling the police to file a report. Is it legal for us to take the files from the cube? Direct USB connection? You should be beyond uncomfortable, and they didn't tell you because this is illegal. Glad to see you called the police and disregarded the checkout time. Stay on site until they arrive. Hidden cameras aiming at the bathroom is illegal, and Airbnb should, they will as soon as they're done with chatting with their legal team, as I'm sure they are right now, refund you. If you feel unsafe, get out and stay near a public area if the homeowners are still on site. Not an attorney, but this is an arrest-worthy criminal offense, correct? The thing is, the camera is in the kitchen and points towards the bathroom, which is 10 feet away. Unfortunately for us, we decided to undress before entering the bathroom, so of course that will be captured as well. It wouldn't have been an issue if I guess we had closed the bathroom door, but we thought we had privacy. Well, you're certainly entitled to at least a refund. If you're a host and have any type of surveillance device in or around a listing, even if it's not turned on or hooked up, we require that you indicate its presence in your house rules. We also require you to disclose if an active recording is taking place. If a host discloses the device after booking, Airbnb will allow the guest to cancel the reservation and receive a refund. Host cancellation penalties may apply. Additionally, more specifically, we require hosts to disclose all surveillance devices in their listings, and we prohibit any surveillance devices that are in or that observe the interior of certain private spaces, such as bedrooms and bathrooms, regardless of whether they've been disclosed. If this device can observe the interior of the bathroom with the door open, then I think this host messed up pretty badly. Keep us posted if you need anything else. You should immediately call the police and let them take care of the evidence. Too many criminal investigations are compromised because bystanders mucked up with the evidence, making it impossible for the police to prove their case in court. Should we bring it to the police or have the police come directly to us? The hosts are living right above us, and I am scared they will get confrontational once they see a cop car. Do not touch the evidence. Just call the police and let them see it as it is. Connecting a USB cable to it, moving it, any other sort of tampering may render the evidence worthless in court. If you are too scared to call the cops, do not call the cops and just cover the camera when you are indoors. Of course, there may be other cameras that you did not find yet. Fun stuff, right? But at the end of the day, you have to pick a course of action. Which of them you pick is entirely up to you. Myself, I would call the police and prepare to move as soon as possible. Even if the camera is removed, do you really want to be near those people anymore? Okay, and there's a few updates in the post. Update 1, we called the police non-emergency line. They won't give us an ETA or when they are coming, but we have to wait for them. We only have 2.5 hours left until we have to check out, so I guess we will sit tight until then. Update 2, the couple left and went somewhere while we waited for the police. The police eventually did show up, made a report, took the camera as evidence, and tried to get a hold of the couple but couldn't. All my messages between myself and the host were wiped from the Airbnb app. I did not screenshot them, but we have copies of what the host said in my email. We are going to Mount Rainier for the next 2 days, so I will keep you guys posted after. Update 3, Airbnb messages are back and I have full access now. We'll screenshot and keep safe. Thanks for all the advice and support. I'm just glad the police came and took care of it from there. We'll look into lawyers once I'm back. Entering Mount Rainier now, we'll update later. Update 4. The host has contacted me and apologized, stating they did not know it had a camera and that some of the other guests had left it behind. They seemed a little upset and offended we would accuse them of such things. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt and hope that what he said was true. Airbnb refunded me the entire stay without me even asking, and have temporarily suspended the host. They are starting their investigation and will communicate with the police. The police are still trying to see if they can get data off the device and are still doing their investigation. So that's where I'm at. It'll probably be a while before anything happens, so I will make a separate update post when everything is settled. Thanks for the support, everyone. It's been pretty terrifying, and now I'm paranoid at every place I stay, but I'm trying the best to just think of it as an isolated incident. And now, update. Found hidden camera in Airbnb, Seattle, Washington. I had been in contact with Seattle police since the incident, and after 6 months of waiting, they have finally been able to look at the device. They were able to access the footage on there, which they say included not only myself and my partner, but multiple other guests prior to our stay. We were not the only ones undressing and going in and out of the restroom in plain view. They are in the process of trying to figure out the original owner, and also see if they can identify the other people in the videos to let them know. The good news is that the device recorded directly onto a memory card and was not uploaded to anywhere else. So for us and the few others who were recently captured, our footage rests in the hands of the police. However, there could have been others before us that have already been viewed and removed. I am unsure of how to proceed, and I'm just waiting for the police to finish their investigation to determine intent before I consult further with a lawyer. Thank you everyone who had reached out and for the great advice. I'm sorry it took so long for the update, but this is the first time I've had any real feedback from law enforcement. I'll update again once the investigation concludes. And that was a year ago, and I've not heard from them since, so hope that's a good enough update for you guys. Our next post is a little bit of a touchy subject, by user TextDogShoot, titled, "Neighbor's dog killed my goats, I killed it. Now he wants to sue, and this is in Texas." This happened earlier tonight. I was awoken by the sounds of growling and my goats screaming, "Bah!" I went outside with a rifle and spotlight and saw a baby goat being dragged away by what I thought was a coyote. I shot it and it disappeared, so I ran inside to put on a pair of shoes and came back out. I saw that my breeding billy was dead in the pasture and a baby goat dead next to my neighbor's German Shepherd, which was also dead. I took several pictures of everything I thought was relevant, including the section of fencing that the dog dug under, then put the dog in the back of my truck and took him to the neighbor's house. When I told him what happened, he got very angry, which I understand completely, but I was pretty upset myself, and told me to leave. After I left, I received a call from him telling me he wants $3,000 for shooting his dog. I told him that I understand that he's upset, but if anything, he owes me money. The goats killed were both males, and breeding billies can be worth several thousands of dollars over the course of their lives. The adult goat killed was only 3 years old as well. Anyway, he proceeded to cuss me out, threatened to come over with his shotgun, and then hung up. My question is there a possibility that he could sue me? Can I possibly sue him to recoup the damages? The billy was the best one I've ever seen. Almost all of the nannies he bred would have 2 or 3 goats, which is fairly rare for my herd. I have pictures of the dog's body next to the dead baby goat if that could be used as evidence. Also, should I file it myself in the small claims or should I hire a lawyer? I really am out quite a bit of money and the search for a new billy won't be quick or easy. Thank you for your time. You appear to be immune from a lawsuit for killing the dog, pursuant to Texas Health and Safety Code 822.013, which says, Section 8.22013, dogs or coyotes that attack animals. A dog or coyote that is attacking, is about to attack, or has recently attacked livestock, domestic animals, or fowls, may be killed by 1. Any person witnessing the attack, or 2. The attacked animal's owner or a person acting on behalf of the owner if the owner or person has knowledge of the attack. B. A person who kills a dog or coyote, as provided by this section, is not liable for damages to the owner, keeper, or person in control of the dog or coyote. You, however, do have a claim against the dog's owner for the value of the lost livestock. What amount could I file a claim for? The amount I could potentially sell all of the Billy's offspring? The amount it cost me to buy a new goat? I've also read about the treble damages. I'm not sure what this means though. You would probably just claim the value of the goat, so you can get a replacement. So just the cost of obtaining a new goat. Does the amount I could sell the goat's offspring for come into play at all? No, because you can sell the new goat's offspring too. I won't have any to sell for at least a year. Will that affect anything? Yes, that would be an economic loss. Edit. This is the update I've posted below. I've written a demand letter, and tomorrow or Monday, I'm going to send it to him via certified mail. Update. Since Reddit doesn't seem to want me to let me edit my post to add more information, and I can't post more than once every 10 minutes or so, I'll update like this. First off, thanks for the advice everyone. I'm not going to follow all of it though, because frankly, some of it kinda sucks. But thank you nonetheless. I think there's a lot of good advice in this thread that I'll use. Secondly, after posting last night, I ended up going back to sleep. My neighbor sent me an email apologizing for what his dog did and asking if we could put all of this behind us. I replied to the email telling my neighbor that I was happy that he doesn't seem to bear any ill will, but that I'm out quite a bit of money. I told him $4,500, $500 for the baby, $500 for the Billy, and $3,500 for the babies the goat might have had in a year, and that I was going to need the dog's shot records. I'm unsure if the dog managed to bite any of my other goats, but I'd like to make sure I'm not going to lose any of them to rabies. I told him he could pay me now, or I could take him to small claims court to get more money, as I honestly feel like I'm kinda lowballing my damages for him. I explained to him my reasoning for asking so much, and ended the email there. He responded telling me to go screw myself for asking that after I killed his dog. I haven't replied to that yet. Would getting a demand letter from a lawyer be a good idea? I'd rather not hire a lawyer to sue, but from what I've read, a demand letter can be fairly cheap to get. Also, could I find the dog's shot records anywhere? I feel like it'd be kind of a long shot though. We're outside city limits, and it's likely that the dog's not registered. In the picture I took, you can see the dog's collar and the neighbor's name on the tags though. I'm not bothered to look for responses to that one, I'm sorry. I'm just gonna read the update. Killed my neighbor's dog. Update. This all happened several months ago, and it did get a bit exciting, so I figured I would update as y'all seem to be keen on those. Short story. I got more than I originally asked for. Long story. Neighbor got drunk and tried to drive his truck through my house. Presumably, he hit a tree instead. Tree law, tree law. Tree fell over onto my roof and destroyed it, as well as quite a few electronics in the room under wherever the tree hit, as it was raining quite hard at the time. Neighbor ended up with a broken leg, rib, and arm. I got home a while after all this happened, and found him still in his truck. So I called an ambulance and sat there to make sure he wasn't going to die or try to do more damage. Anyway, after it was all said and done, his insurance wrote me a very large check for the roof and electronics, and I got a court judgment for nearly what I was asking, $4,500 for the goats and damage to the fence. I'm currently in talks with another lawyer to find out what it will take to get the tree replaced, and the neighbor moved away. Don't know if it's just because he thinks I ruined his life, or if he just sold his house to cover his costs. Frankly, I don't care. I just want him far away from me. Alright, our next post is by user Needlework Reverie, titled MD. Condo Association sent a letter citing inappropriate bylaws to restrict my kid from doing basically anything. My soon-to-be 7-year-old is a good kid who is very energetic and active. I sent her out to play in the courtyard with the other kids while I'm cooking dinner in the evenings to play. She's mostly going around and around on her scooter on the sidewalks, playing on the grass, or sometimes climbing up the spruce trees. She's very respectful to any adult that she comes across, if talkative. The development is pretty evenly split between young diverse families and white boomers who bought in the 70s. They are polite and friendly to me and my husband, but yell at my daughter if we're not around, telling her that she can't scoot around the courtyard, play on the grass, scoot around the parking lots, or climb trees. They want her to go play in the area that is out of sight of the unit, hasn't been mulched in forever, leaving the equipment very high off the ground, overrun by ants and yellow jackets, and has a rope climbing structure so old and worn out that the nylon rope is pretty much gone, leaving the metal cables exposed. I have brought the state of the play area to the attention of various board members in April and May. Nothing has been done. They've cited 2 bylaws which aren't applicable to the situation. One talks about keeping children out of trash rooms, laundry rooms, and storage areas, / not biking through those places. The other bylaw reads as such: no noxious or offensive trade or activity shall be carried on within the project or within any condominium unit situated thereon, nor shall anything be done therein or thereon which may be or become an annoyance to the neighbourhood or the other owners. No nuisances shall be permitted within the condominium project, nor shall any use or practice be permitted which is or becomes a source of annoyance to the members, or which interference with the peaceful use and possession thereof by the members. I took this to mean no gang-related activity, no drug dealing, no durian, and don't cook meth. My downstairs neighbour received a similar letter, and I'm going to ask the parents of the other kids they play with if they've received one too. There is a county noise ordinance in place, but it doesn't go into effect until 10 PM. My kid rides her scooters on the sidewalks and in the parking lot, never indoors. She plays non-destructive games on the grass and she climbs trees. The only people that are being obnoxious are the seniors. What should I do? Bear in mind, tomorrow is the first day of summer vacation and she's going to be around much more than she was when school was in session. You can take it to mean whatever you want, but what it says, and what will be enforced, is that anything annoying to the residents will not be permitted. Your child is annoying the residents. That must stop, according to the bylaw you feel is inapplicable. My child is a resident too. She's not a wayward pet. She is a person and has the full rights of one. Isn't her enjoyment just as valuable as someone over the age of 55? This rule is a nuisance and an annoyance to the people of the community, therefore it is null and void. No one cares. No one cares even a teeny tiny bit. They are entitled literally, and you are just entitled in attitude. Your daughter is annoying the residents, and just because you believe that what she's doing shouldn't bother them, doesn't mean that it isn't. You're making a stupid joke, right? I'm not a lawyer, but it sounds like your kid is involved in some dangerous activities, like riding a scooter unsupervised in a parking lot. It sounds like there is a designated area for kids to play, but it's run down. Perhaps a better cause for you to fight would be to get the playground redone. The other owners may be concerned about your child being hit and hurt by a car. Parking lots are for cars, not scooters, skates, balls, etc. I say approach the board with your concerns about the playground and your issues with rules. New playground sounds like a win-win. 95% of the time she is riding her scooter, it is on the sidewalks in the courtyard with a helmet. The times she is riding in circles in the parking lot has been under the eyes of another parent with other children. I would love to get the playground fixed up, but it's still not going to change the fact that they will find something else to pick at us about if we don't do something. I guess your only other option would be to supervise your own child, so she stops being a nuisance to your neighbors. That will allow you to find out exactly what your neighbors have an issue with and not rely on the word of a 7-year-old. Scooters do not belong on the sidewalks, even with a helmet. Take her to the park to ride her scooter. The only wheels that belong on a sidewalk, in my opinion, are wheelchairs and baby strollers. Just because I'm not up her butt doesn't mean I'm not supervising her. I also believe that someday she will be an adult, and that means that she needs to take baby steps towards independence. People complain all the time about helicopter parents, but the moment you let your child have a little freedom, they punish you for it. And now, update. MD, Condo Association sent a letter citing inappropriate bylaws to restrict my kid from doing basically anything. The board meeting was yesterday. When the floor was open to owner commentary, I raised my hand and told them that we had moved in about 6 months ago and what I liked about the community, before telling them about the letter and what it said. I ended with, "When I got this letter, it made me feel like community isn't a welcome place for young families." It turns out that the letter was sent without the full knowledge and consent of the board. In fact, they had no idea it was sent out. The president of the board was livid that I and 6 other families that I know of received this letter and told us that our kids were allowed and encouraged to play on their scooters and bikes on the sidewalk. They don't want the kids to play in the parking lots for their safety. They also ask that kids stay out of plantings and off the grass. Then she referred us to the playground that has several safety concerns and mentions the new layers of wood chips that had been put down at the beginning of summer. I told her that while we appreciate the layer of wood chips, I still had some new safety concerns. The end of the slide is about 2 feet off the ground, and when my 3-year-old goes down, she shoots off the end like a cannon. The nylon covering on the climbing structure has come off, and I'm worried my kid's fingers could get hurt. There's a strange lurid green fungus the size of a hockey puck by the swings. When you poke it, it lets off spores and oozes. They'll have a contractor come out to give an estimate to fix the playground. The person that sent me the letter was counting on us to be intimidated by the official stationery, not to talk to each other, and discouraged by the inconvenient board meetings. I'm especially upset that 6 or 7 families that I know of received this letter, and 4 of them were renters/people of color. One person is a single man whose nephew visited him for a weekend and brought his bike. I plan on joining the board once I've been here a bit longer and implementing community building events so that people don't feel so alone. I hope you all have a happy and wonderful day. And that's where I'm going to leave this episode, guys. I hope you enjoyed Markee's commentary on r/LegalAdvice today. Tell me what you thought about it down in the description below. I'd love to know your thoughts, opinions, whatever you've been doing today. I hope that you have had a good day, night sleep, whatever you're up to, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!